Cal's putting a copper sock on our downspout line. You can see all the roots. We have this big tree right here, this ornamental tree. Looks like it's a flowering crab tree. But you can see all the roots in the trench. We're going to have all the connections wrapped in copper, and we're going to have them taped up real good, seal them up tight. Now you can see we got 2 downspouts here, and they're responsible for, look at that trough. So, you know, I want to point this out. This gutter trough starts right here. So all this water, so you got 1, you got 2. So this is what we do. That's why I want to show you this. When we're trying to see just how much water each downspout is responsible for. So we're thinking, is this tied in with the front? And is there more downspouts on this trough? We get to the front, and for decorative reasons, they did not go with a downspout right there. They didn't want to have a downspout on the front of the house. So all this gutter, all this roof, and behind the house, that L, it's all on 2 downspouts. They're going to be pushing. They're going to be maxed. So we're going to set this up on a 4-inch system because of this situation. You always have to see how much roof your gutters are responsible for. So this has all this roof here. Some of the water that's coming off of here gets in this valley, finds its way into the lower trench, and then all the roof on the side of this house. 2 downspouts, that's it. These things are maxed out. When you dump the water right here, we already have too much water going down, negative slope on the side of the house, negative slope on the back of the house. We have to grab up this water and we have to channel it away from the problem area. So always grab your bulk water, grab it up right at the source, don't let it go. Look how far the guys, we finally got really good slope. Now that water could run out in that green belt, okay? We have all this grass, this big green belt that can just run and soak into the green belt. So you can see by this really far run that has this beautiful flat bottom, really nice slope, but you can see how it just drops off right here and breaks. You want to put your pop-up in a location in your yard where you finally reach a point. You see how it just falls off right here, just falls right off. Now all that pipe upstream is not going to hold any water because the top of your pop-up emitter is below the majority of your line. This is what you want to shoot for. Then you go ahead and you build your pop-up emitter like a mini dry well. You put a bunch of pea stone around it. You do not tape it when you connect it because you want the water to leak at the fitting. After you move all the bulk water after a rainstorm, what's left in that pop-up emitter will leach away into the subsurface soil. This will all drink it up if you put pea stone around your pop-up emitter and do not tape your pop-up emitter. All right, Cal's got this line in. It looks really good. We got our pop-up with the turf restrictor plate. The grass can grow on the pop-up plate and not grow over the door for discharging water. This is really important. All those little tiny pop-ups that are about as big as our door, the grass just grows up on the edge and now they can't pop up and now your basement floods. So this is a real nice feature. It's the only pop-up you can get your hand in. And it's really nice if you need to reach in there and get some tree buds and some tree seeds out. So we got 2 downspouts that are going to be maxed out on one 4-inch main line. We got our sediment trap 3 feet off the house. I love the sediment trap being put 3 feet off the house, and I'll tell you why. All the shingle gravel comes right into the not quite a 90, and it's on a nice slope. And that shingle gravel, it'll get shuffled a few feet, boom. It'll slow down and want to build up about right there. So I love putting the catch basin. That's like the perfect distance right there. I absolutely love that. You can't always get it there because of landscape. Now we have a landscape bed over here, And Cal moved that one a little bit further for the convenience to the homeowner to not have it in the bed area. It came out really nice. As soon as we got to the grass, went ahead, put that catch basin in. It's going to be easy to put a garden hose through the system. Remember, you can get into our system in 3 locations. You can get into our system right here at the leaf filter, because this leaf filter has a removable screen, and you could just push your garden hose right through the system just for a peace of mind. Right here, you pop this off to maintain your catch basin. Once a year, just go in there and scoop out whatever shingle gravel you caught, or stick your shop vac wand down in there and suck it clean. No big deal. And then obviously you can take the lid off of our pop-up really easy with a slot-headed screwdriver. You just put it right here and pop this little clip. You can't break the clip because it's made out of HDPE. It's indestructible. It's the same thing Tupperware is made out of. So then this will remove and you can stick your hand down in there. So 3 locations that we could run a garden hose and just kind of flush it out. You can push a garden hose through while it's running and see if there's any debris that comes flushing out. Our system is the only system that you can access from 3 locations. There is literally no reason why this line should ever clog or ever fail. This is the last roof runoff system. This is the last underground buried downspout system this homeowner will need. And they can sell this house and show the new homeowner exactly what's going on, and as long as they just clean the leaves out and once in a while check the catch basin, they'll be fine. Right there's your access point. We can run a camera through there. We could run a garden hose through there. That's what I love. And the not quite a 90 makes it easy to push the garden hose through. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions regarding this installation, leave them in the comments section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.